All right, guys, let's talk about the upcoming recession and what you can do to prepare for it. Well, the first thing you gotta realize is that a lot of this is just made up. I mean, there's not gonna be any upcoming recession, most likely. People are just wanting it to happen because of their own motivations. Maybe they're shorting some stock. Maybe they really want real estate prices to go down so they could buy up, so they can get in at a cheap price. Maybe they got some sort of political motivations, who knows? There's probably not gonna be a recession around the corner, but nonetheless, I don't pretend to be a genie. So it's always good to prepare. It could happen tomorrow, right? So the first thing you gotta do is live like you're already in a recession, okay? You need to do that as close as you possibly can, in the sense that, let's say if you were to lose your job for a couple months, what would happen then? Would you be panicking in the sense that you wouldn't be able to pay your rent? You wouldn't be able to pay your car bill? You wouldn't be able to pay for all these things that you're paying for? Would you have to downgrade your lifestyle? How would that work? Okay, so you need to live below your means. That's obvious, right? But to some people, it's not. And what does that mean in practice? Well, for one, it means that you're gonna have to stop eating out so much, probably. So you're gonna have to start cooking more. And one thing you can do is start cooking already. If you're not already cooking, if you're afraid to cook, or you just don't have the habit of cooking, then if you ever got to a position where you had to start cooking, eating at home more, it's going to be a lot tougher if you're not already in the rhythm of it, right? So I would suggest start cooking a lot more often than you are right now, and go eat out only when it's you're going out with friends or something. Okay, meal prep also works. That makes things a lot more convenient. Instead of you having to cook every single day, you can cook one time. It lasts for 3 or 4 days. Okay. Another thing you want to do, the most obvious thing, is to save money, so that when you do lose your job, you have some savings to tap into, and that could last you 3 months, 6 months, a year. They call this the emergency fund, right? So you want to make sure you prioritize building that up as quickly as you can. You really gotta ask yourself, if you were to lose your job today, how far could you last without being out on the streets or whatever? Because when you actually think about how many months you could go, then that will light a fire under your butt to go and start saving more money, okay? You want to look at your credit cards, okay? Keep your balances low and your credit high. When I say that, I mean, obviously, you want to pay off any balances that you have on your credit card. You don't even want to carry a balance in general. Recession or not, you don't want to carry a balance because that's going to be high interest. Okay. Keep your balances as low as they can possibly go. Make sure you're paying them off as frequently as you can, and your credit high. How do you get your credit high? Well, sometimes it's as simple as calling up your credit card and saying, hey, I would like a credit increase. And it's not because you just want to go and spend more money, but it's just always good to have more credit. Now, what am I suggesting? Am I suggesting that when you lose your job, that you should just go run up a bunch of debt? No. The first thing you want to do is obviously look at your savings account, your emergency fund, and try and make that stretch for as long as you can. But we don't want to ignore reality and understand that sometimes push comes to shove and you got to do whatever it takes to survive, and you might need to tap into some debt. Sometimes there are legitimate times that you'll need to tap into some debt, and during that time you're going to wish that your credit card balances are as low as you can and your credit card limits are as high as they can. Next thing is, keep your skills up to date. When you lose your job, you're going to be doing what? Looking for another one. So that means you want to make sure that even though you're comfortable in your current job, your skills are up to date so that you can go out there and quickly get another one. Even though there's a recession, your skills are in demand, right? People love you, they can vouch for you, and you know that there's a lot of companies out there who are willing to hire you. Even in a recession, if your skills are in demand enough, it could potentially be recession-proof, right? Sometimes it's just about picking the right industry. I mean, if you're a nurse, people are always going to need to go to the hospital, right? If you're a plumber, people are always going to need to get their sink fixed, whatever, right? So you got to think about being in the right industry, and also just making sure that you're up to date in terms of having the latest skills. Okay, and that goes along with keeping yourself marketable. Okay, so that means your resume, your LinkedIn, whatever it is, so that people can go and find you. Instead of you having to go out there and find jobs, people find you because they already know who you are. So make sure you manage your connections. Okay, stay on top of your network, guys. That means check in with people here and there so that they know that you're thinking about them. That way, if you need a favor from them, they got you, that they know that you've been keeping in touch with them, and they're more likely to hook you up with a job or a connection with someone else that could get you a job. They can refer you to their company, whatever the case. And the last thing is make yourself valuable at work. You should, even during nice times like this, you should be thinking, okay, during a recession, if they had to lay people off at my job, doing the people who are doing the same type of job that I'm doing, am I going to be the first one to go, or am I going to be the last one to go? That should be at the forefront of your mind. And if you think you're going to be the first one to go because you're either slacking off or you're just barely getting by, you don't take initiative to get things done, then you need to reverse course. You need to think about what you can do to make yourself irreplaceable. Anyone can be replaced, but it's just an expression. You want to make sure that not only your skills are up to date, but that you are constantly giving to the company in terms of your value. Make sure that your manager and the company sees that you're bringing so much value to them. They'd be crazy to fire you, even during the middle of a recession. They should fire your manager before they fire you, okay? Because that's how valuable you are. So those are some quick tips for how you can prepare yourself for the upcoming recession. I encourage you to, keep everything up to date, keep your money in check, make sure your cooking skills are in check, because when push comes to shove, you're gonna have to get those things in gear, right? Like, comment, subscribe if you like this video, share it with your friends. Peace.